All right, brother. Thank you, Kedric. Thank you for taking the time to show up to this call. I'm doing this because I want people to hear stories of young entrepreneurs. People, I this morning I did an interview with a 21-year-old real estate agent, and now he started his business in the middle of the pandemic. So I want to bring up more people like that and like yourself, and share, pretty nuggets for other people that are trying to hustle out there too. So introduce yourself, share a little bit of your story, and then we're gonna pull questions from there. Good.
Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, as you kind of introduced me, my name's Kedric. I am 22. Right now, I am doing social media marketing and really going all in on that. And there's a bunch of other stuff that I want to be able to do as well. And that's just going to come later on once I fully build up what I'm doing now. Then I'll be able to kind of dive deep into that. I'm really big on the like mindset type stuff and really being able to control your mind. Um, just because I'm really big into spaces like mental health as well and being able to help people get out of those dark places because I was once in that dark place. And I know kind of what it's like. Some experiences I may not know about, but that's something where I don't want to say I know about now, but I want to be able to learn and experience, maybe not firsthand, but um, ways that people can combat that and try and become someone of Tony Robbins caliber. So that's kind of where the main goal is going to be. But I mean, every day is going to be a grind. So
Awesome, love it. Yeah, absolutely. I think everyone, mainly, when we're going through those teenage years, we're struggling with ourselves, our mindset, and the first time you reached out on my DMs, you mentioned something about being. You made an analogy of a bar, oneself being a bar. Can you share it with the people here?
yeah, like the restaurant type thing.
There you go.
Yeah. So I mean, what I was kind of getting at there too is I mean, every day we're kind of living more and more in a digital world, and a lot of people don't really use their social medias for that kind of case, and that's okay. But the people that are using their social medias towards business and towards getting their names out there, maybe they're doing something like they're a musician and they want to, a real estate agent, another marketer or a coach. It's something to realize that the presence is always going to be there. Because
Right.
say you're walking down the street one day, and you're hungry, and you're trying to find a place to eat, and you walk past a restaurant, but they have nobody in it. Nothing's really happening. It doesn't seem like the place that you would really want to go. They might have great food, but you don't really know because you're not really feeling the vibe that's there. Then you look across the street and you see another restaurant and it has a lot of people in it. They have live music, tons of people. The vibe is great. I usually ask people which place they would rather go to, and 100 times out of 100, it's going to be the one that has a lot of people at it. Just because I mean that's the place that people like to be around energy. People like to be at places that look good, especially since they have the presence on the street, and people are more attracted to that. So that's basically what I do is I help people get their social medias to that kind of image to where people are attracted to their page, what they do, they stick around much longer. And especially in social media, it's a game to be able to attract people. That Instagram algorithm sucks nowadays.
Yeah.
So anything that helps can really contribute towards your business.
Yeah, absolutely. So before we get into some of the strategies that you're using right now to help people out, um, how did you get started in this in those areas, branding and marketing, right?
Yeah, so I mean, I've always been interested in kind of making a name for myself. I have a very unique name, Kedrick. I've
Yeah.
never met anybody else the same. When I usually introduce myself, people usually ask me, "Oh, Kendrick Lamar," and I'm like, "No, it's Kendrick Lamar with no N." And that was something I've always been interested in. And there was a time where I wasn't really doing well in entrepreneurship, and then I reached out to a friend, longtime friend. I mean, I've known him for a couple of years now, and he really switched around his life, and he was doing very well. Doing even better now. Happy to see kind of this progress. And I asked him, like, yo, what have you been doing differently these past couple of years that I really haven't? And he took me under his wing and showed me everything that he's been doing. He's been an absolutely phenomenal friend and being like everything that he does for me. I'm extremely grateful for. He doesn't earn a dime, but based off the efforts that I do, and it's just really great to see that. And it's kind of an inspiration for me getting into it. And so, um, yeah, I hope that kind of answers that one.
Yeah, absolutely. So, what's your take on? I see you traveling. I see you doing great stuff, man, on social media. What are some tips that you will give people, even they might not have the status or the resources to travel and shoot pictures and so on. But what are some tips and ideas to shift from being a social media, being used by social media, and turn it into become users of the social media, if that makes sense?
Yeah, it's a lot of what I talk about with mindset. I don't
Mm.
offer any type of course with mindset. So I have a lot of people that will just come to me. And since I'm trying to build my name up with that, I'll just give out free advice.
Okay.
So that's kind of the case now is a lot of it's going to be what you want to accomplish and how you can raise your frequency of your being to be able to get there. So if you wanted to start traveling, it's going to be whether like you believe in God or the universe, it's going to be something that you have to ask them for and believe that you already have, that you're able to travel around the world. Like right now I'm in Miami. I'm originally from Minnesota. I moved to Arizona. I've been to Colorado 3 times this year, New York. It may not seem like a lot too much for some people because they've been able to travel more, but it's a lot to other people.
Yeah.
And it's just based on kind of the perception. I think it's a little bit normal to me in a way because I always like to be moving. I like to be uncomfortable in certain situations. I think even like this past weekend of me being in Miami, I shifted my own mindset and gave myself a little boost to be able to um, want to work more. And I even worked a ton in Miami. I was there for business. And now coming back to Arizona, there's a lot of stuff that I'm going to be working on and getting out by December. So that's pretty exciting and working with
Perfect.
a couple of people on that. But if people are trying to travel, it's, I mean, travel's decently cheap right now. And I have gone to Colorado twice to the 3 times on a very short budget. And it ended up paying off. I mean, if you have to room with friends, that'll be a lot cheaper.
Awesome.
And yeah, and also another big thing in travel too is credit. Being able to travel hack with credit is a lifesaver. I don't know how many times I've gotten free flights with credit, and but that just comes with building it up and spending the money in the right places.
Awesome. Perfect. Yeah, absolutely. So share a little bit about the next projects coming on, because I wanna have people go after you later and see how they can get your help.
Yeah, so with everything right now, I can't release a lot. Well, I can, because it's going to be coming December 1st. Right now, so I do a lot of social media branding and marketing. So I help people make their pages not only look more appealing to one's eye, and when someone comes to their page, they're going to be a lot more intrigued of what they do, but also uh, it's going to get them. Um, there we go. Sorry. It's
Okay.
going to be able to get them on the right track with their social media. So there's a lot of people out there that don't really know what to do with it,
Yep.
and I help them basically with what to post on their stories, what to post on their feeds, how to talk to people, how to talk on the camera, how to gain more confidence, how to sell their product, how to do everything within that, like DMs with cold outreach, qualifying, closing, handling objections. And there's a bunch of stuff to know, like on social media. And a lot of people may think it's a little hard, but breaking it down in the course that I'm going to be having that's coming out on December 1st will break everything down. And this is something that I want to keep really minimal because a lot of people can't afford the other services that I have. So this is something where they can use for a very cheap price and start to build up their Instagram and really start to take advantage of it without having to spend a lot of money. And in order to really see your brand take off, you will have to invest in it. And that's just something that a lot of the big brands do. And they spend thousands and thousands of dollars on it. I spent thousands and thousands of dollars on mine as well. And so, but it's all paid off and getting my name out there. And I'll probably spend a lot more money in the future as well.
Definitely. Great. So do you focus on helping certain kind of people specifically, or do you help businesses, or who do you target?
So I think I help people that run their own businesses so that they are their own CEOs. I wouldn't necessarily go to a organization where they have maybe like a board or that. It's mostly the single entrepreneur. That's
Mhm.
my main target, where these people are all out on their own and going up against the wall, because I was once there too, and going up against all the odds are stacked against them, and because they're by themselves, and it's really hard to be able to make it by yourself unless you have the right tools and resources and mentors and learning experiences to be able to get you there. And so that's where I really tried to go. I take them through a whole process. They can opt out whenever they want. It could take anywhere from 6 months, a year to 2 years, depending on how far they want to go. And the end goal would be to get them verified. And that's just with one of the uh, plans that I do. A lot of people really do want to end up getting certified or verified, because once that happens and you pop up in someone's DMs, that's going to expand a lot of credibility for you and your business.
Awesome. Yeah, I saw that you posted something about an article recently, right? On you?
Yes, I just got featured in an article. I have another one that reached out to me as well. So
Great.
that's pretty
Congrats.
exciting. Thank you. This is my second podcast as well. So that's very exciting. And I love being on these. But yeah, it's really exciting to be able to express myself and get my word out there. I only can do so much on social media. So having somewhere like another platform where I can tell my story a bit and really go deep into some words and have someone articulate that into an article really means a lot. And I went through it and read it, and I was astounded. So it's really exciting seeing that. And
Awesome.
it's also manifestation come true. So it's really exciting.
Yeah, perfect. So let's talk about that difficult time of being or that difficult phase of being an entrepreneur. For what I see, I mean, you're stable, you're doing a little bit better. I've gone through some ups and downs, and right now I'm facing some challenges myself. So I wanna have you share your story in that phase. You know, how you went through it, what was wrong, and how you overcame it. What steps?
Yeah, a lot of it comes from reflection. And when I first started, I had thought, okay, where do I want to be? And I
Mhm.
set myself some goals, and I kept on at it. I kept on at it. I kept on at it, but it just didn't feel like I was really going anywhere. And that was really hard for me. And especially me understanding the way mental health is, you start to get in your own head and think, am I worth it? Can I actually do this? Is this something that I'm meant for? And that comes into your head because you're just getting so many no's, and that's what entrepreneurship will be. It's no, 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 one yes, no, 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 one yes, 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 and then 100 more no's, and then you start to get them, and that like getting those no's does weigh on you quite a bit.
Definitely.
And when I realized I needed to, it does, yeah, but the one thing is, I sat back and I'm like, you know what, let me look at these goals again. And a lot of the stuff I felt like I outgrew. I felt like I became a different person, and I felt like I wanted new things. And one other thing that I tried that I hadn't before that I always been putting off, procrastination kills. And it's it was writing out my 3 month, 6 month, and 1 year goals for myself and where I wanted to be mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally, and also financially, and where I wanted to be within my business and the steps that I could take to get there, what limiting beliefs were holding me back, and what empowering beliefs I could use to replace them. So that was something that really progressed me forward. It gave me a new drive and really progressed me to where I am today. And so being able to accomplish some of that stuff, breaking it down to the easiest points to say, okay, I'm gonna have faith that all this will happen if I do this type of stuff every single day, day in and day out. Stay consistent with it, because that's the number one thing to making it. It's like I went through a physical transformation last year, and I went through a mental and spiritual transformation in this year. Is staying consistent with everything that you do, because then it'll eventually pay off. Like if you miss 5 days in a row and then you go back at it for 2 days and then miss a day and then go back at it for 5 days, it's not really the most consistent way. And staying consistent with it every single day is going to uh, pay off in the long run.
Definitely, definitely. So what? That's wonderful. Congrats, bro. I mean, I think we all have our own problems all the time. There's something showing up all the time.
Yeah,
Sucks.
it's hard.
Go ahead. Yeah.
I'll go ahead. I was just commenting.
Um, what? So you came across this because most people face these problems but never seek out help, or either they suffer in silence. That's something I've heard a lot. I was myself, and I could have gone to my parents, my close friends, which are not that many. I don't know if that's in every entrepreneur. I was talking to someone else earlier, and he was saying I didn't have that big of a support system, just my girlfriend. I was like, dude, same here. So how what made you, or what resources did you seek out specifically?
So yeah, when it comes to entrepreneurship, I'm the only one that didn't go to school in my family. The only one that doesn't work a job in my family. So my family was out. They were. I'm not going to them for anything I need entrepreneurship wise. So that was hard. And at the point I was living by myself, I didn't really have a lot of friends, and I was really trying to make it. And being able to really like suck it up and just message someone, be like, hey, you know what? I'm not in the best spot right now. Here's my story. How can I change? And that really helped. And I actually had a lot of people this weekend ask me the same exact thing, which was kind of a manifestation in a way, for what I started out as. Because I kind of was like, you know what? I'm not in the right place. Because it's social media too. We're meant to be social on it. So we're meant to reach out to people, figure out their stories. And it's really about who you surround yourself with. So, like, even if you're like just with a girlfriend, I had an ex, I hated what I did, got away from it. And now I'm doing much better mentally and spiritually. And I think it's just something where we have to really reflect, think where we want to go, find someone that's already there, and learn from them.
Absolutely. Wow, thank you, brother. I appreciate everything. Um,
Yeah.
what are some next steps, or where do you see yourself in the next year? In the next year, in the next 5 years, 10 years, if you can share that, maybe you give an idea to someone else here listening to this and kind of want to follow those steps, you know?
Yeah. So, some personal goals that I have within the next year. I want to basically get everything that I'm doing with personal branding automated. So I build up my company to be able to get to a point where everything kind of just flows, kind of like how Grant Cardone talks about cash flow. Everything that I get from this will go into my other business. And at the 1 year point, actually November 1st of next year, I hope to have everything seamless. And that's when I'll be starting my mindset type stuff. And hopefully I'll have some experience with that, because within the next 6 months, I'm going to be gaining some of that experience. And 6 months is a long time. A year is a very long time. If you're plugging away every single day, I work 7 days a week. Sometimes I'll take like a half day on Sunday, maybe a full day. That's just for personal reasons. And plugging away every single day, I do think 5 years is a really long time for me, uh, especially with where I'm at 22. Some people may look at it and have the goal. I don't like to think that far ahead
Okay.
for a couple of reasons. One, because I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow. And two, is just it's kind of a overbearing step to where if I worry about that, I won't be able to focus on today. But a couple of things I want to be able to do is once I'm 26, which is my golden birthday, I hope to have complete and utter financial freedom, to where I could literally step away from everything and be fine for the next 5 years. So that's a personal thing, but I got to work my ass off to get there. 10 years, I really have no idea. Um, like the only thing that I would really want at that point is to be traveling somewhere and have a family and kind of just see where things are going from there.
Wonderful. That's enough. That's a plan already. Now you have
Yeah,
a baseline now. That's wonderful. I appreciate everything you shared so far. I mean, I think we overlook the mental and spiritual things most of the time, not only in entrepreneurship but in everyday life. You know, and everyone's struggling with something again. And some of my audience, some of the people that have reached out and said, "Well, Adolfo, thank you. Thanks for what you're doing." They're sharing great stuff. Uh, but I think I needed this piece of the pie to complement everything, bring it all together with money, uh, the spiritual aspect, and also wealth and health at some point. So I appreciate everything. Is there any last thought you wanna drop?
yeah. I mean, I don't really know who's listening to this. Like I think at some point, maybe in 5 years, or when you post it, maybe it'll be tomorrow. But my advice to whoever is listening in this is that I, I believe in them. I believe in you. And I think that if you really want something, that you can go achieve it. I think if you really set your mind to something, and whatever goal it may be, if you have the right tools and resources and the people around you, you'll be able to get it no matter how crazy the goal seems. I used to have people laugh at me, and now I'm living what I wanted. 3 years ago is when I first started entrepreneurship. It's going to take time. It's going to take some effort. It's not going to be instant gratification. But if you can build faith in whatever you want to believe in, whether it be the universe or God, it's going to pay off.
That's wonderful. That's what we needed to wrap it up. Thank you, brother. Thank you for your time. I hope to have you in the future. Maybe I don't know, you've released more people have released more articles on you. You've done many more podcasts. You bring a great energy and bring that live restaurant that you were talking about. I want
Yeah,
the
thank
people that
you.
are listening to this to, follow you, to hear a little bit more of your story and keep on maybe work with you in the future so you get them to that point where they just are contagious with that energy that you're sharing.
Thank you. That's
Okay.
something that's an affirmation I write every day is I'm filled with positive energy. So it's always something to try and strive for because there's too many negative things happening in the world right now. So why not be the positive beacon?
Definitely, definitely. All right, I appreciate your time and everything. Is Where can people find you before we leave?
On Instagram right now, I'm working on my website. Right now, my Instagram handle is at Kedric Seibert, KEDRICSEIBERT.
Perfect. All right.
All right. Well, thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
Thanks to you, brother. Bye bye.